Is it on? Is it working? Is the Vorpal crystal projecting me into the astral manifold? Nah, what's that, mate? Yeah. Guild leader's always ready. No rest for the guild. Not until we collect all of those. Never mind. What's doing, lads? Old guild leader here to teach you a few entry-level techniques for all you knife-slinging, quick-finger boys out in the dungeon. Let's get to it. Alright, lads. This first one is going to be a biggie, especially for the lone wolf types. It's easy to get in a pinch, especially when you're in the goblin caves or the crypts. And when you're in the dungeons alone, you've got a warlock on your left, a rogue on your right, and none of them are going to be your friends. So here's a little tip, because you can trust the guild leader, or might be your only friend out there. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to push through one side into a bigger space that we're looking for. Bigger corridor, more space to move, mostly to avoid getting boxed in. If you're the monkey in the middle and both players see you, they will naturally gravitate towards pinning you in against a wall and dealing with you, and then of course consuming each other in the aftermath. To avoid that, you're going to have to find which target is the weakest. This means we're looking for warlocks, rangers, wizards, another rogue. But in particular, you're looking for a ranged adversary, because their natural inclination is going to be to backpedal, to move out of the way if you start sprinting at them, running at them as fast as possible. Also, if you need to buy yourself a little bit of time, you'll see that in this next clip. Go invisible. In most cases, someone might wander off, slashing in the wrong sort of way, or they might hold back to see if you're, whenever you reveal yourself. So you can use that to sort of slow the fight down, and you'll see me use that here. The main thing is, when you're in a situation like this, is you always have to be thinking about your point of egress, your point of exit. There's a reason that we call them dead ends. So let's watch this together here. I've killed a man. I've killed two, actually. I hear footsteps behind me. So then I've got to rush through the center of the goblin caves. An adversary behind me. And unexpected danger ahead of me. I drink a protection potion here, just to mind my P's and Q's when going into a hostile area. Now we've got footsteps on both sides, and we've got visual on the rogue behind us. We invis here just to fake him off, and then I'm going to use my next hide. Just as a bad play there, but I run at the warlock as fast as I can. He closes the door. Perfect. Now we've got a one-on-one with the rogue, and I've got the high ground. We wait, we listen, then we knife fight. Always try to weave in and out. So that technique, lovelies, we call that the door. You know, break on through to the other side. Now in the next clip, I'm going to show you how to anticipate an enemy's trap while also putting him in a trap of our own. The double bind. Alright, so here we are in the ice caves. I'm a little No harpy there. No bats. I hear a weapon. I hear footsteps. Ah, we've caught him. We've caught him. We haven't fell into his trap at all. A bit of ranged, we get through the door. Harpy's on him. He sprints off to heal up, and we let him go. We've got a little bit of loot in our inventory, but namely, we just want to make sure that we set this up properly. We invis there to pass the harpy back on him. Now this is key. This saves us the fight. Either in that moment he takes the time to fight the harpy and we get the advantage, or he keeps the harpy on him, in which case we slow the fight down a little bit and the harpy helps us finish him off. Thanks, babe. Alright, this next one here, the final trick of the evening. We call this one the Hoodwink. Some may call it the line break, flanking, the reach around. But the main principles here are when you're working with a team, you always want to be thinking about a different angle of attack. Even if you can't successfully complete that, it can give a lot of misdirection to your enemies. And misdirection is one of the key elements of playing a rogue. You want to make sure that the other enemy doesn't see you, and if they have seen you, they don't know where you're going to be. They don't know you want to give them trouble when they're tracking you. Namely because you want to play as opportunistic as possible, meaning that you'll have to try to set up situations where your team can have success. It means you need to have a lot of communication to your team. They need to know that you're going for a flank, and you need to have knowledge of the dungeon rooms nearby. Some flanks aren't always possible, in which case you can reposition your team to try and get a better location where a fight should happen, or avoid the fight altogether if it seems a little iffy. Alright, so let's check the clip for the Hoodwink. Alright, so here we start off in the crypts. We've got two lads I've just met, but they seem like they know this stuff at least well enough. I tell the fighter he needs to pair up with the other lad. I've got the flank here. It's a one-man job. Now the enemy team, they don't know I'm here, and my boys are doing a good job of keeping them busy. So we open up, just enough to kill one, just enough to put pressure on, and then we safely back away. If you overcommit there, you'll have the remainder of his team breathing down your neck. But this way your boys can finish them off, and you can trade back and forth. Who's in the hot seat? Give him a little hot potato, you know. That's the Hoodwink. There we have it, lads. 3 tried and true techniques for you to try out in the dungeon. Brought to you by the guild. Now the next time your pockets are aligned with someone else's gold and there's blood beneath your fingernails, remember the guild leader and the lessons I've taught you here today. Yeah, alright, Gimbal, hit it. Join or die.